I'm sure you've seen this. This is the Flextail Zero Pump. But have you seen this? This is the Nitecore AP05C, an ultra lightweight carbon fiber air pump. And honestly, these two look a little bit too similar, so we're gonna run some tests and compare the two. So this Nitecore AP05C is a new arrival from Nitecore, and it just released, I think, in June of this year, 2025. Nitecore claims that this has a runtime of 45 minutes. They also claim that it has a weight of only 0.81 ounces, or only about 23 grams, which is ridiculously lightweight. Compare that to the Flextail Zero Pump, which Flextail claims has a runtime of 25 minutes, and they also claim this has a weight of 1.2 ounces, which we all know is kind of deceptive because that weight does not include the battery, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. So in this video, we're gonna compare how fast these inflate a pad, how many pads that they can inflate to see their total runtime. We're gonna find their true weight with their batteries included, how long it takes to recharge them, and also their noise as well. Okay, welcome to my backyard, everybody. First off, I wanna show you everything that you get with each of these pumps. Starting off with the Flextail Zero Pump, obviously you get the pump itself, but then it also comes with 6 different nozzle attachments that all work for a variety of different pads. As for how it functions, there's that little orange button right above my finger. You just press that twice. There you go. And it starts running. You just press it one time to turn it off. Air goes in from this side and out the other way. All you do is just attach one of the nozzles and then plug that into your pad, and then you're good to go. As for the Nitecore pump, you get this little bag that comes with it, which is kind of nice. And for the Nitecore one, you do have less nozzle attachments than the Flextail pump. Obviously, we have the pump itself. There is this adapter piece, which goes on the end of the pump. And then you have these 4 different nozzle attachments. They're kind of weird shaped, if I'm being honest. Like this, I don't really know any backpacking sleeping pad that uses this kind of pump or that kind of nozzle. But otherwise, you just take one of the nozzles, attach it to the adapter, and then it locks in place, and there you go. It is extremely similar to the Flextail one, where air goes in this side, out the other, obviously. Press the button twice. But let's go jump into the testing part of this and see how many pads we can inflate with each of these pumps. Starting off with the Flextail Zero Pump, let's see what happens. Pretty close to being done, 50 seconds. All right, we're gonna stop it right there. Almost exactly 1 minute to fully inflate this pad. Okay, I'm gonna deflate this one completely and then try the same thing with the Nitecore pump. All right, so same thing, Nitecore pump ready to go. Let me just attach the nozzle and see what happens. The Nitecore pump does sound like it's weaker than the Flextail one. I'm afraid this might fall out. I think we're good. We just hit 1 minute, so a little bit slower than the Flextail one. All right, we're gonna call it right there. There you go, 1 minute, 12 seconds for the Nitecore pump. So one thing that I could tell with the Nitecore pump was that it was a little bit quieter than the Flextail one. It's really not much of a difference. And if I'm being honest, I don't really think the noise is an issue with these things because they're already not very loud. But there you go, Flextail is definitely a little bit faster than the Nitecore one, at least when they're both at a full charge. So here's where an issue comes up with the different nozzle attachments that you get with at least the Nitecore pump. I haven't noticed this with the Flextail one. This is a Nemo Tensor sleeping pad. And before I even got out here for testing, I noticed that the Nitecore pump, none of the nozzles actually fit this specific pad. So here's the nozzle that I just used for the Sea to Summit one. It's just too small and it doesn't actually fit snug on this sleeping pad. Or we can take one of the Flextail ones, and this one, while it is pretty snug, you can still get it to fit on there. And the Flextail pump fits on there, where the Nitecore one, it won't because the nozzles just don't fit. So I guess that's points for Flextail because they have a wider variety of nozzles that you get with your pump. Might be something to keep in mind because I mean, it's important. If the pump doesn't fit your actual sleeping pad, then it's kind of pointless. Another thing that I noticed about the Nitecore pump, to take the battery out, you just turn this to the side and this little plastic piece comes out and you can take out the battery. And then it kind of just like twists. You got to find the right spot. It just twists and clips into place. Now, I do kind of like the Flextail one a little bit better because it actually just like screws off and it feels a bit more secure than the Nitecore pump does. Something about it just kind of being like a plastic attachment kind of sketches me out a little bit. Like I feel like you could probably break one of these little arms that actually like lock it into place over time. You might just need to be careful with it. I do like the screw that Flextail has for where their battery goes. Okay, I'm gonna get to testing these pumps and see just how many pads that we can inflate with either of them. Now we're gonna jump into the size and weight of both of these pumps. I mean, side by side, you can see that these are essentially the exact same size. Can you guys see that right there? I got them lined up as well as I can. This one is the Nitecore, this one is Flextail. Nitecore is like just barely, like maybe 1 millimeter longer than the Flextail one. Both of these measure about 1 inch around in diameter and about 3 inches long. I mean, they're essentially the exact same size. It's you almost can't even see the difference. But what I really want to find out is how much these actually weigh. So first off, let's talk about Flextail. Flextail claims that their pump weighs only 1.2 ounces, but what you might not know is that does not include the battery, which I think is ridiculous because this thing literally will not function at all without the battery. So we're gonna find out just how much this weighs with the battery. I got my pump, I keep on saying pump. I've got my scale right here, and I'm gonna use my phone to show you guys just how much the weight is. All right, scale on. This is the Flextail Zero Pump, and we get a weight of 1.7 ounces. Try it again. 1.8, all right, so we're getting 1.8, 1.7, 1.8 ounces for this. There you go. Now for the Nitecore pump, and Nitecore claims that this has a weight of only 0.81 ounces, and on their website, they don't specify if that is with or without the battery. I am assuming that that is without the battery because if this is only 0.81 ounces with the battery, that is crazy, crazy lightweight. Again, breaking up the phone. There's my camera, this is what I see, by the way. Look at that. I don't even have my light on. I probably should have turned that on. Whatever. All right, scale on, and this is the Nitecore pump. And zeroed out, let's see what the Nitecore pump gets. We got 1.6 ounces. Let's try it again. Zero it out. Once again, we get 1.5. Try it one more time. I don't like the inconsistency. 1.6. Okay. 1.6 ounces for the Nitecore pump. So there you go. The Nitecore pump really only turns out to be about 0.2 ounces lighter than the Flextail one, which I'm honestly surprised. I would have thought the Nitecore pump would be a little bit lighter, but holding them in my hands, there really isn't too much of a difference. You can definitely feel, like when you think about it, you can feel that the Nitecore pump is lighter than the Flextail one, but being carbon fiber, I would have thought it would have been a little bit lighter than only 0.2 ounces lighter than the Flextail one. Okay, I just got done testing both of these pumps and here are the results. So the Flextail pump inflated that pad a total of 26 times, while the Nitecore pump inflated the same exact pad a grand total of 35 times. It also just started raining. Oh geez, it's coming down. It's time to go. Oh goodness. Okay, so it just started raining right as I was about to finish this last part of the video. Just kind of got some closing remarks. If you're using one of these for 2 people, you will have plenty of inflations and uses out of this for at minimum a week-long backpacking trip without even needing to recharge any of the batteries. Like this Nitecore one should last you like a month. You could bring this thing on a through hike if you really wanted to and never need to recharge it. So both of these are obviously fantastic and they have a ton of uses out of them. The Nitecore one just lasted a bit longer than the Flextail one because it has a bigger battery. The Flextail pump has a 650 milliamp battery, while the Nitecore one has a 950 milliamp battery. As for the recharge times, the Flextail pump recharged in 1.5 hours and the Nitecore pump recharged in 2 hours. But I gotta say, while using these, I think I like the Flextail pump better, and it just comes down to the nozzles. The Flextail pump has those rubber nozzles that are just easier to fit and mold into the pad, into the nozzles, and get it situated right, where the Nitecore one comes with more of like a rigid plastic nozzle that just doesn't work as well. As for the price of both of these, the Flextail pump comes out to $50, while the Nitecore one is actually $7 cheaper at $43. And I'm honestly pretty surprised about that because this Nitecore one has the bigger battery, which is more expensive, and is also made out of carbon fiber, which is also more expensive. So definitely some points for Nitecore. So obviously both of these are very convenient products, and that's just what they are. These are meant for someone who just like really does not want to inflate their sleeping pad at the end of the day. These are just meant to be a convenient thing you bring along. A minimum of $43 is definitely not cheap for something that essentially has just one function, and you really gotta hate inflating your sleeping pad in order to pay that amount of money and bring these along. Not to mention that this is just another piece of tech that you gotta throw in your backpack and also make sure is charged up. In all honesty, these are, I mean, they're basically identical. The Nitecore pump is a little bit lighter and lasts a little bit longer, but I kind of like the functionality of the Flextail pump better than the Nitecore one. What does alarm me though is that this Nitecore pump is basically a blatant copy of the Flextail one. I mean, look at these things side by side. It's essentially the exact same product that Nitecore kind of just copied. Except I don't think that we're done here yet, because I was looking at the Flextail Instagram and I saw that they sort of announced a Zero Pump 2 that might be coming. So what do you guys think? Out of these two, which ones would you choose? Would you bring the Nitecore AP05C or would you bring the Flextail Zero Pump? And also, please let me know if I missed anything crucial in this video. If I am completely forgetting something in my testing, please let me down below. Thank you guys for watching this video. I will see you in my next one.